You hear about the grandfather of AI saying he was terrified of the state of AI? You mean this guy? He's quit after a decade expressing his regret over his life's work. If I hadn't done it, somebody else would have. The idea that this stuff could actually get smarter than people, a few people believe that, but most people thought it was way off, and I thought it was way off. I thought it was 30 to 15 years or even longer away. Obviously, I no longer think that. It's important, really, really important, to always advance the realms of STEM. Because if you don't, then we're going to be living in a land of lack of innovation. And where there's a lack of innovation, I honestly think people begin to suffer. The idea that people have abused technology is a completely separate thing that I am vehemently against. And so people who believe they're doing things in the name of technology and in the name of advancement of humanity, but really they're fucking charlatans and snake oil grifters. Those people are the worst of this entire culture, this entire workplace. They make my job harder and more difficult. It's hard for someone, I'll take the example at Samsung, where people were using ChatGPT to help review their code. Two engineers there put in their code, proprietary code, into ChatGPT to code review. And when GPT-4 was released, they found IP code in the training data set. So what happens to these engineers? They get fired. Why? Because they're cutting corners. And that's a very tiny, small, negligible piece of AI usage. But it's the people who think that, oh, well, it's going to be good for code review, so let's just code review everything. It's only a matter of time before the code review turns into simple GPT for people. Hey, here's a code review app for free. Oh, this is a keylogger? Oh, it's an identity theft scam? And the greatest example of this in literally the last year is generative art. It's sort of like the Redbubble crisis, where people will post art, and then Redbubble has or not Redbubble specifically, but these websites out there that put, whatever on a shirt. They will take these popular images they find on Instagram, on Twitter, on Pinterest, and turn them into shirts. And then now you can go out and buy a shirt of it. But what they're really doing is they're just taking uncredited, or taking art without any credit or reference to someone, to the creators, turning it into merch or product without them knowing, making any money on it before the artist knows, and then once the claim is put in, hey, stop using my stuff, they've already made the money. And you live in a gray world of well, there wasn't a clear copyright, there wasn't a clear this or that. You can't say that this was completely your art when it was a reference and we made changes to it. And so this is all to say, is someone off base when they're saying they've been in the realm of AI for decades and they're afraid of it now? I'm not there yet, but I can see where they're coming from. And it's not going to destroy my world quite yet, but is it making me have to respond or react in ways that I wasn't planning on responding or reacting quite yet? Yeah. One of the worst things you could probably wake up to is hypothetically, this has not happened to me, but hypothetically, someone saying that they are putting together something like ChatGPT or using it to do some forms of analyses, and they don't know that the data or the tables or the code that they're passing through is actually proprietary. And because of that, they're exposing us and exposing our data, code, whatever, publicly. And when you do that, it just takes a not even smart person, just a regular person to say, I wonder what this other company is doing. I wonder if I say, hey, make a returning customer function using receipt data as if I was Chick-fil-A. I wonder what it would return. Make a returning customer predictive model as if I was Wendy's. And if you think that your company is like, oh, like this wouldn't happen at, you know, Yum Brands, this wouldn't happen at Zaxby's. If you're thinking it wouldn't happen somewhere else, you're painfully wrong. Because someone's already doing this. And now you, as the director, as the manager, as the senior vice president, as the CTO, as the CDO, as the cybersecurity person, as the InfoSec person, you now have to take a stance on whether or not the usage of AI-assisted analysis can be a part of your company's analytics repertoire, of your business intelligence repertoire. And if so, what does it look like? How do you utilize it? So on one side, I definitely see the benefits. On the other side, usage in the wrong hands right now, or in uneducated hands right now, can be dangerous. Can be dangerous. I sell feet pics on OnlyFans. That's true.